We're here on a lovely autumn day to show you a new range of rods from Dragon Carp Direct. It's called the Airstream range. It's very high tech, but it's an incredibly low price. You might just want to put them on your Christmas list. First up is the feeder rods. Now there's two feeder rods in the Airstream range. There's a 10-foot feeder and a 9-foot feeder. Now the trend these days is to go slightly shorter with rods. Now that's mainly because most of the time we're fishing on commercial fisheries and those pace can be very, very tight. And also shorter rods do give you a lot of control under the rod tip, especially when playing carp that are thrashing around. So they're really good, the shorter rods. Both come with great styling, 2 tips each. They cast really well, perform brilliantly. So I'm going to show you through this one. This is the 10-foot one I'm using today. And you can see how well it casts and how accurate it is. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you get hold of one of these Airstreams, this is a feeder rod, is how light it is. So it's really stick thin. It's built on a very thin mandrel. And I think that's brilliant for, I mean, these rods are $19.99. So you don't really expect super stick thin carbon rods for $19.99. But like I said, the Airstreams are a different generation, so it's fabulous. Now that carbon blank delivers a really accurate cast. So you can give it a good hard punch, there's no twist in the blank, and the feeder or lead will go straight to your marked spot, whether that's against an island or like I'm doing today, on a clip, on a mark on the far side. Now the features of this rod, well, you get 2 tips like I said, and they're glass tips and makes them very soft. Now this is traditionally designed for carp on a commercial really, but because it's a nice soft glass tip, you could use it for skimmers, bream, you know, pretty much most species, even roach. So it makes it a good all-round rod. So your $19.99 is going a long way. You work down the rod, the guides are very strong and they're lined guides, so they won't bend or break in the bag when you're transporting them. So it's 2 sections with the tips that push in, so it packs down quite neat. And we've got on the handle here a Duplon cork split with a winch fitting, so your reel is always very tight, so there's no wobble there. And there's a final sort of feature, there's a keeper ring for your hook. So it's a brilliant, brilliant rod, an all-round rod, but its main purpose is carp. But as I said, $19.99, you can't really beat it. So let's take a look at the float rod, which is equally as impressive. So here is the Airstream float. There's 2 available. It's got an 11-foot and a 10-foot. They're both 2-piece, which makes it very simple to fold away and put straight into your holdall, so you can leave it ready rigged. Now, I am a float fishing obsessive. I have been for 30 years, so I'm fairly critical of float rods. And I'm absolutely amazed at this for the performance and the value. So the problem with most float rods, the cheap ones, is they're just a bit fat and heavy, and it makes the mechanics of casting lighter floats just very difficult. So if you're going to invest some money, you always invest more in a float rod. I do personally, but these are fabulous. And again, it's based on a very thin mandrel. The rods are stick thin and the carbon's built up, and that gives a very precise, crisp action. So it'll launch floats out really accurately onto your feed. But also the playing action, it's almost anti-lock. So if you have a rod that's cheap and it locks up very quickly in the top section of the blank, it can cause the fish to bump off and snap lines and things like that. But with these, it's a nice progressive action that hasn't got any locking, and it makes playing fish, whatever the size, really great fun. So you've got a choice of 2, 10 or 11 foot, depending on the sort of swim you're fishing, and both are great, great fun to use. Now, in terms of design and style, well, we'll talk through those, but I'd like to show you how well they cast, because as I said, it's very, very crisp. Now in terms of cosmetics, of course it's from the family of the Airstream brand, so it's very similar to the feeder rod. The blank's the same, quite an understated grey, same livery on the butt really. The guides, now they're lighter, because obviously a feeder rod's chucking heavier weights, so you can have a lighter set of guides, which makes the rod slightly crisper. It's got the keeper ring, it's got the split 2-prong cork handle, and all round it's a smashing piece of kit. Now another great feature of these rods is the fact that they're so user friendly, and that means they're a fabulous fishing rod for newcomers, for youngsters. Now I've put the Airstreams in the hands of 6, 7, 8-year-olds, and they're so lightweight and slightly shorter that they've been catching fish straight away with them. And of course, at $19.99, it's a proper fishing rod for a youngster. So in terms of progression, they're ideal for that. Now all of these rods, these Airstream rods, the 2 feeders, the 2 floats, are available online at Dragon Carp Direct, and you can also get them in the outlet stores as well. So check them out, ready for Christmas, and make a brilliant present. You can't go wrong.